Hi. Today on TV Box Stop, I feature the Sunvell T9 Android 8.1 4K TV box. The T9 is an earlier Sunvell model from their Rockchip RK3328 line, and it's actually the model that came just before the T95Q in my previous video. So is the T9 any different from the others, and is it competitively priced at $47? Well, to get your answers you have to stay tuned. That's coming up next. So I'm back, and to quickly go through this video and to cover all the vital information, I will start with a quick look at the box it comes in. There's a bit of confusion in my head between what CPU is being used in this box. It says that it's an octa-core CPU, and then it says that it's a quad-core CPU. Then it says that it carries the Mali 450 MP2 GPU. Now that's a strange combination. The only octa-core CPU on the market is the Amlogic S912, which normally goes together with the Mali T820 GPU. Strange. So without further ado, I'll do a quick unboxing. So this is what's in the box. You have the T9 TV box itself. You get an infrared remote. If you are comfortable with these remotes and it serves its purpose, then it's all well and fine. If not, you can always buy a Bluetooth Air mouse if you need more advanced navigation, especially if you install lots of Kodi add-ons. You can find an Air mouse link in the description area below this video. You get one HDMI cable, a 5 volts 2 amps power adapter, and a user's manual. Let's take a look at its design and its input-output ports. The body is made of plastic with the T9 logo printed to the top. To the back, you have one HDMI port, one Ethernet LAN port, you have one optical audio port, one audio-video port, and a power input. To the side, you have one USB 3.0 port, one USB 2.0, and a MicroSD card reader. You have some ventilation holes on the other side. To the front, you have an LED clock display. And to the bottom, you have more ventilation holes. So I will connect it and continue with the review. So I have connected the box, and when you boot up for the first time, what you will see is the Sunvell T9 logo and the Android boot up animation for a couple of seconds. Once completed, you're then taken to the launcher. So here we are at the launcher. We have seen this same launcher in Sunvell's T95Q model, and it's usually this same launcher that is used in most of their boxes. The launcher comes with large main buttons that cannot be changed, and you have a one-click memory cleanup button for freeing up system resources. The launcher comes with a shortcuts bar for adding shortcuts by simply clicking on the Add button, and then selecting or deselecting apps you would like to add or remove. The launcher doesn't come with a navigation bar or notifications bar for multitasking, something that comes in quite handy when navigating TV boxes with Air mouse and touchpad keyboards. It was recently brought to my attention by a subscriber that I needed to expand a bit more on alternative launchers, and rightfully so. In my recent videos I featured some alternative launchers like the Nova launcher and the Arc launcher. However, even though some of these launchers installed on the box, some of their main functions fail to work properly, most recently on the new Amlogic S905X2 boxes. So after testing two new launchers, I discovered that they are quite good, and they function even better than the Nova launcher, with drag and drop feature and widgets function. If the box does not come with a navigation bar, the launcher will not have that feature, and if the box has a navigation bar, so will the launcher. The two launchers in question is the ADW2 launcher, and the EV launcher. I will now do a quick test run. So before I proceed, I would like to inform you that I updated the firmware because I was having issues getting the Wi-Fi switch to stay on. After the update, everything was fixed. I don't know if this is the same for all the boxes or is it just happening on the model I received. However, I placed a link in the description area for those who have existing boxes and want to update their firmware, and for those who may be experiencing this issue. So in the apps section, they have included apps like AirPin Pro, Aptoide TV, Chrome Browser, IMBD, Kodi Player, Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, and YouTube. In this new firmware they placed the rest of the system apps in this System Tools section. So as usual, I will pause and install the rest of my apps needed to complete my review. So I'm back and have installed all my apps, and first let's see if this box is rooted. It shows that the box is rooted, running on Android 8.1 Oreo operating system. This is good news for users who use apps that require root access to work, and not so much for the DRM support needed for Netflix to show in 4K quality. A serious word of caution. Please, do not try to update the Super User application, as it will update and put your box into a permanent boot loop that cannot be fixed by a simple reset. You will have to do a total flash of the firmware to restore it. So don't say you haven't been warned. And now I show the DRM information. The Tanix TX5 Max has support for Google Widevine Level 3, and no HDCP encryption. This allows Netflix to only show in standard quality. Let's look at its system and hardware information. The manufacturer of this box is Rockchip, and the model just says TVBox H. It comes with 4 GB of RAM, and this is the remainder of the storage from the 64 GB after the Android installation and all the apps I have installed. The Bluetooth version here is 4+, which indicates that the Bluetooth version is 4.1. The CPU is a 64-bit Cortex A53 quad-core CPU running up to 1.3 GHz. Below here it shows the box has support for 32 and 64-bit APIs, allowing it to run both 32 and 64-bit applications. The GPU is the dual-core Mali 450 graphics processor with a refresh rate of 60 Hz and OpenGLES version 2.0, which can pose a challenge for certain games. Under network, it shows that the box has dual-band 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi support. Under Android information, it shows that the operating system is Android 8.1 Oreo, and it also shows that the box is rooted. Under thermal information, it shows that the box runs between 40 to 50 degrees Celsius under normal room temperature, and this can rise up to 60 degrees under heavy activity. The box comes with codecs for playing 4K videos like HEVC, H.264 and VP9 decoding, and a couple of others, all needed for the playback of 4K media. And that's it for system and hardware information, and now let's take a look at some benchmarks. First I have the results from the A1 SD Bench app that measures RAM and internal storage read and write speeds. The results show that the Sunvell T9 has a RAM copy speed of 3199 MB per second. The internal storage has a read speed of 38 MB per second and a write speed of 46. These scores are consistent with other Rockchip boxes in its class. And now I have the results of the Wi-Fi speed test. The results show that the Sunvell T9 has very good Wi-Fi speed on the 5 GHz band. However, the 2.4 band fell below the maximum speed of my internet package of 60 MB, and even lower on the Ethernet LAN port. So not a very good showing from this box in that area. Next I have the results of the Antutu benchmark. In this test the Sunvell T9 scored 38,403. This score is a bit low compared to other boxes in its price range. Next I have the results of the Geekbench 4 CPU benchmark. In this test the box scored 600 single-core and 1,592 multi-core. Not too much of a bad score, but it's consistent with other boxes in its price range. The final benchmark is the Ice Storm Extreme GPU benchmark. The Sunvell T9 got a score of 2,109. This score is a low score due to the fact that the Mali 450 GPU only has OpenGLES version 2.0 support. And that's it for the benchmarks. I will now go through the various entertainment features of the box. I will start by opening Netflix and see what's the highest resolution we can get. From a movie product description, there is no HD symbol indicating that you can play this movie in HD or 4K quality. This means that you can only play Netflix movies in standard quality on this box. I will now open a YouTube video sample to see what's the highest quality we can get. YouTube plays up to 4K quality on this box. I will now play some 4K video samples to see what's the quality of the playback. Most of the 4K samples played okay, with the jellyfish video having some issues. For those users wishing to share content from their mobile device to their TV, they have included AirPin Pro for iOS devices. So I installed the AirScreen app. This app consists of AirPlay, Google Cast, Miracast and DNLA. I will now share my Android cell phone via Miracast. So Miracast works fine on this box and there's very little lag in the response. So Netflix works on this box but in standard quality due to DRM restrictions. So for alternative ways of streaming movies and TV shows, the box comes with Kodi Player, which is actually Kodi 18. It's the current version on the Google Play Store, so you don't need to uninstall it. However, it is blank and you would have to install your own third-party add-ons. If you're not into Kodi, and you don't want all the pains of setting up third-party add-ons and you just want to watch unlimited streams of free movies and TV shows, then there's an easier option. You can download and install all the latest movie streaming APKs for thousands of free HD movies and TV series from season to season. I was able to install all the popular APKs and they stream up to 1080p quality. They load very quickly because they are standalone apps, and they are easy to install. A list of these APKs can be found in the description area. I will now run some Android games to test the 3D graphics performance. So I was able to install and play some Android games. However, some of my regular games did not install because they require OpenGLES 3.2 support, and this box only has 2.0 support. Also, the games played with slow graphics rendering and I couldn't get gamepad key mapping to work. So this means that this box is not a good gamer like the new S905X2 boxes. So in summary, the Sunvell T9 is one of the last remaining TV boxes from 2018 that still runs on Rockchip hardware, and if you do a comparison to the new 2019 boxes you would see why the trend has been towards S905X2. However, it comes with 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of storage. You can use alternative launchers. It is a good Kodi and APK movie streamer. It plays YouTube in 4K quality. It plays some 4K video samples. It plays low-end Android games. And the AirScreen app gives you Miracast and AirPlay. On the downside, the CPU is clocked at 1.3 GHz. The benchmark scores are a bit low. Netflix plays only in standard quality. It had some issues with certain 4K samples. You only get maximum speed on the 5 GHz band. You have no navigation.